This man spent years building a reputation built on one thing: mystery. He went on TV, podcasts, private Republican meetings, telling anyone who would listen that he had seen things, that he had smelled war. He said there was a part of his life, a part of his past, that he would never talk about. Secret missions, overseas operations, things too sensitive to explain. He built an entire identity around it. A tough guy. A man who had been there, done things most people couldn't even imagine. And then, in one moment, it all started to fall apart. Because across from him sat Senator Peters. And Peters said 6 simple words: "You are under oath. We can clear it up right now." That was it. No drama, no yelling, just a direct challenge: tell the truth. So he was asked a basic question: have you ever traveled overseas? And his answer? No. Just like that. No hesitation, no ambiguity, no. But then, seconds later, that answer started to unravel, because records showed he had traveled to places like Georgia and Azerbaijan. So now the story changed. Well, that was different. It was a mission. It was documented. Suddenly, the man who had never traveled had traveled. Then came the real question: were you ever involved in any official military, intelligence, or government operation? Again, no. But then, another shift. Well, there was something. A classified trip. A special assignment. A very small group. Something he couldn't talk about. Not the location. Not the mission. Not the agency. Not the people involved. Everything classified. Every time he was pressed, same answer: classified. But here's where it gets interesting, because when other senators asked for verification, there was nothing. No agency, no documentation, no federal record. The FBI itself said they couldn't find any evidence that he was ever part of a classified government operation. Nothing. Then one of his own Republican allies walked out of a classified briefing and revealed what this secret mission actually was. Not combat, not intelligence, not special operations. A whistleblower issue that happened to take place overseas. That's it. And when asked whether it was actually classified, the answer was blunt. I'd call it more of a non-disclosure agreement. Not classified. Just an NDA. That's what years of mystery came down to. The man who said he smelled war was describing something that wasn't war at all. And here's why that matters. Because this isn't just about exaggeration. This is about credibility. Because the same person who couldn't clearly explain his own past had no problem making immediate, absolute claims about someone else. Within hours of a fatal incident, before any investigation, before any evidence, he labeled a man a threat. A deranged individual, confident, certain, no hesitation. But later reporting told a very different story. Video evidence, witness accounts. They raised serious questions about what actually happened. And suddenly, certainty didn't look so certain anymore. And that's the bigger issue. When someone builds their identity on claims that can't be verified, and then uses that same confidence to shape public narratives, the consequences are real. Because now, this is the same man being considered to lead one of the most powerful domestic agencies in the country. And when asked why he should be trusted, his answer wasn't about experience. It wasn't about qualifications. It wasn't about accountability. It was simple: we're friends. That was the answer. Friendship. Loyalty. Personal connection. That's the justification. And here's the final irony. The last person in that position was removed for being too embarrassing. That was the bar, and somehow even that bar was cleared in the wrong direction.